Well, he looks like somebody's dad right there. Speaking of dads,
Mm.
I unfortunately had to go to dinner with my family last night.
Yeah.
It was my sister celebrating a birthday. They're going out of town, my parents and my sister, for her birthday. It comes up next week. And before they got out of Dodge, I said, well, hey, we should all go do dinner or something. So, of course, my sister wanted to eat at an Italian restaurant in the mall, which tells you how good it was.
Mm.
And we get in there, and my dad, Lord bless him, you know my dad,
Mm-hmm.
he's a country gentleman.
Yes, country gentleman is a very good way to describe him.
My dad, when he goes to a restaurant, would like to eat your steak. He might eat your pork chop,
Mm-hmm.
and he'd be interested in your chicken. And now he finds himself at an Italian restaurant. And my wife orders the grilled chicken salad, extra grilled chicken. My sister orders bolognese. My mom orders bolognese. And I'm like, Dad, what do you want? He goes, come back to me. So I say chicken parmesan. And my sister goes, Dad, that would be something good for you.
Uh-huh.
And my dad says, I think I'm going to have, in the next two words that fell out of his mouth,
Uh-huh.
I would have never predicted ever in a million years. My dad said, I'll have the shrimp scampi. And my entire family turned and looked at my dad like, are you okay? Did you become a 65-year-old woman at the goddamn Red Lobster? Shrimp scampi. What the fuck so as soon as the waitress writes it down and walks away, I said, are you all right? And he goes, yeah, son, I like shrimp. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And I said, hey, no answer. Sister, would you have ever in a million? She goes, nope, never heard it before. Wouldn't have expected it. I asked my wife, and she's like, leave him alone. I was like, okay. Mom, have you ever? She goes, I don't know what the hell's going on. And when they sit it down in front of my dad, we're all just looking at dad, waiting on him to acknowledge I've made a huge mistake.
Yeah.
And they sit down a giant bowl of noodles
Uh-huh.
and shrimp on top. And he
Yeah.
just looks at all of us like,
Uh-huh.
and I go, looks a little different than it does down at the fucking Red Lobster, doesn't it? Because he thought they were going to bring him one of those little plates that they just slid in the oven that's still like sizzling in the oil and shit, like it's
Yeah.
Red Lobster.
Right.
Like, that's not what this is, Dad.
Yeah.
Anyway, he powered through, and I made sure to cut my chicken parmesan in half and put it on his little bread plate. And I said, I know you're going to say you don't want it, but I'm just going to leave this right here for you. And then, of course, after he ate his 5 shrimp or whatever it was and didn't touch the other bullshit, he ate his chicken. And how was it? Oh, it was good. I'd order it again. You lying motherfucker. No, you wouldn't. Shrimp scampi. I thought that was reserved for people who looked like they were an extra on Golden Girls. Who's ordering shrimp scampi at an Italian restaurant?
No one that's not wearing a skirt.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, dude, what do you want him to get you a chocolate martini while she's back there?
Well, you know, you should leave your dad alone. He's a good man.
No, he's not. He gives me shit every day. I give him shit. He's the reason I am the way I am.
I can see that.
It's his fault, you see.
Yeah.
We played cards. We played cards the other day, and Megan gets uncomfortable because me and Dad just talk shit to each other the entire time.
Wow.
And we're both heels where, like, if I lose, I'll never acknowledge that I lost and pretend like it never happened, and him too. Which Hulk Hogan had down pat here in 1998, by the way, with the NWO.
Yeah.
He'd lose and get embarrassed and come out the next night and be like, I kicked his ass from pillar to post. It's fantastic.
You know, I played cards at your house one time.
Really?
I don't know if you remember that. We all played cards, and your dad was watching Alabama play football.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and I remember he was saying, "Bitch," you know.
Yes.
And then he got up. I remember him getting up, and he walked towards the card table. He said, "Now your ass is mine, fella." And I went, "I've had enough," and I walked on him. I didn't want to get involved in that because it seemed like when it came to playing cards, that Larry Thompson was serious.
He's serious at everything. He's super
Yeah.
competitive at everything. My sister got me a chess set for Christmas,
She did.
and it also came with checkers. So Dad goes, "Let's play checkers," and I'm like, "Is there a weight at the Cracker Barrel? What do you mean, let's play checkers?" But we did.
Yeah.
And my dad was hyper competitive to the point where I won, and he immediately wanted a rematch. We had to keep going until he won.
Hmm.
So yeah, he is the reason I am the way that I am.